If you're on long-term medication and you've been told that your medication is for life and you're not happy with that and you're not convinced that you can't be cured, then you need to watch this video, because in this video, I'm going to explain to you why some drugs are for life and why your health professionals will tell you that there is no cure. Welcome to Shapefixer. I'm Andrew Tunstall. I am a nutritionist. I have recovered from hip osteoarthritis, from gout, from severe heartburn and stomach ulcers, and from atrial fibrillation. My mother, who's in her 90s, no longer has osteoporosis issues. All of us in the family and a lot of my friends have lost a lot of weight. And all these were conditions that we were on medication for, or could have been on medication for, or the doctors told us that there was no cure. And yet, it's all been solved. So what's going on here? Okay, let's understand how the Western medical system works. In the old days, before we really knew much about science, people would try to resolve illness through various behaviors, eating certain things, and it was sort of hit or miss, and sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And of course, you have an immune system, so sometimes you're going to get better anyway. When the microscope was developed and we discovered pathogens, bacteria, viruses that can infect us and make us sick, we hit on the idea that we can make a poison to kill that bacteria and cure you of your disease, so long as we build a poison that doesn't kill you. And that's what we've been able to do with Western medicine. And so take malaria as an example. You can take tablets which are toxic, which is why the dose is very controlled, but it will kill the pathogen, end the infection, and you will recover. We then got so carried away with this idea that we thought that must be the solution to everything. And so medicine, which is mostly toxic substances, became the go-to treatment every time we were sick. But the problem is we have a lot of conditions, a lot of diseases, which are not pathogens. They're not infections. There are two different, classes of disease. And that is infectious disease, which is a foreign organism infecting your body and making you sick, which you can kill, and then you are cured. And there are metabolic diseases, which are actually not infections. They are disorders or syndromes within your own body. Something goes wrong in your own body. And that would be things like cancer or diabetes, obesity, arthritis, various inflammatory diseases, autoimmune diseases. These are malfunctions in your own body. A medicine is not going to fix you because there is nothing to kill. All right? Arthritis is you. Cancer is you. You can't kill you. So the only thing that you can do, the alternative thing you can do with medication, is treat the symptoms so that you feel better. And that is for life, because you are not curing the disease. And because the disease is not a pathogen that can be poisoned and killed with a drug, your doctor will tell you there is no cure. And what they mean is there is no medicine cure. But you accept that that means there is no cure. And that's not true, because in a lot of cases, there is. Now, obviously, there are some cases where a metabolic disease is genetic, like type 1 diabetes. Very unfortunate to be born with that problem. Your body does not produce insulin. Without treatment, you would be lucky to live beyond the age of about 7. But if you take insulin injections for life, it will keep you alive. But that's 1% of diabetics. The other 99% have type 2 diabetes, which is something that develops during their lifetime, and it is related to diet and to nutrition. And no, you can't cure it. There is no drug that can cure it. There are drugs that can manage it, but it doesn't go away, and it's a very, very nasty disease. It ends up with heart attacks, strokes, foot amputations, blindness. It's horrific, and no diabetes medical treatment will cure you at all. but it can be cured because it can be reversed. Like so many of these conditions or syndromes, they can be reversed with nutrition. Now, I've done a video on nutrition, which I initially did as a sort of general weight loss diet. It's an eating philosophy on what you should eat, what you should not eat, when you should eat, and why you should be eating certain things. And I'm going to link that video below. If you follow those principles, you will lose weight, you will reverse insulin resistance or pre-diabetes, you will even reverse type 2 diabetes, if that's how far you've gone. You will be able to vastly improve inflammatory diseases like arthritis and gout. And the reason I say again that medication does not cure you of these metabolic diseases is because in most cases they are a dietary disease, and you cannot mask a bad diet with a pill. You need to address metabolic diseases at the cause, and then you very definitely can cure them. So that is the issue. Our focus in Western medicine is so on medicine and pharmaceuticals that we forget the other aspects of our health, and we rely on our doctors to prescribe us something that's going to perform magic. There is no magic. You need to reverse these conditions by understanding what created them in the first place. And in a huge majority of cases, it's incredible. Even Alzheimer's has been linked to insulin resistance or hyperinsulinemia, which arises out of prolonged overconsumption of carbohydrates or sugars, because that's what carbohydrates are. So we need to get onto a low carbohydrate diet. That can be a ketogenic diet, a ketovore, a carnivore, Atkins, paleo, call them whatever you like. You can do it as a vegan and you can do it as a carnivore. As a vegan, it's more complicated because you will be lacking certain nutrients that you can only get from animal products. So you will be on a lot of supplements, but you can lower your sugar intake and lower your insulin as a result and start to reverse all these conditions that you've been told you cannot cure. And you can start working towards a situation where in consultation with your doctor, you can lower your prescription drug dose and eventually even stop with the drugs. So those drugs that your doctors tell you are for life are not necessarily for life. It depends how much you go about changing your life, changing your habits, changing your diet, and making yourself healthy again so that your body operates the way it was always supposed to operate. There are very few of these conditions that are not reversible through changing lifestyle and diet.